Awesome. Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. This is Todd Galde, and this is Who Do I Know? And for this special edition, I have a good friend and top producing realtor, Grant Inaba, with Compass. Grant, it has been about a year or two since we've known each other and gotten to know each other's styles and whatnot. And I've appreciated working with you immensely in the past. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you specialize in the East Bay as a realtor, but you live in Concord, but really you call East Bay home, right?
Yeah, pretty much. When I very first started out doing real estate, I was pretty much doing Oakland only, but there were so many people that wanted to buy in Oakland. It was so expensive, so we'd have to go to Antioch or Concord, sometimes Richmond and Vallejo. So I would really just kind of take them everywhere, and at the same time, learn about all these areas myself. I've been doing the past decade or so, and just never ever stopped wanting to go into new places and learn all about the East Bay. So
Awesome.
I'm everywhere now.
Yeah, and you were sharing. Tell me about some of the transactions you have going right now in terms of locations.
Yeah, sure. I've got a listing in Vallejo right now. I've got a listing in San Leandro. I've got another one coming up in Oakland. In contract now, I have something in Antioch. I've got something in contract in Concord. I've got something in contract in Oakland.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty much all over the East Bay. I've
And
also got a team of agents as well that work with me, and so each of
Okay.
them also cover their own specific region or interest, things like that.
Excellent. And when you say you have in contract, those are buyers?
Yes, actually, they're all buyers.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah, so I actually want to highlight for everybody, it's rare to find a successful agent who can balance both the specialty of a listing and meeting the needs of the buyer. And you seem to do that really, really well.
Yeah, I think maybe it might just be the point in my career. I think people that are longer than a decade, they seem to only do listings. I'm still just shy of a decade, and I've got a balance about 50-50. So it's just nice to be able to, I think, have both opportunities, but also see what both people, see when they're approaching transactions, things like that. It kind of helps me service them better too, because I can get inside both their minds.
Absolutely. And I'll go so far as to say you're a hustler. I mean, you work so hard, right?
Thank you.
And so why would you turn someone down, on one end or the other who are wanting to work with you and use your services? I want to segue really quick to what we're doing or what's going on right now in our industry with COVID-19, the epidemic, and the shelter in place. What are some of the challenges that you personally have been facing as a realtor over the last 6 to 8 weeks?
On the listing side, the challenges are we don't really know, what the regulations are. They seem to change week by week, what we can do, things like that. And that's actually a big reason why right now I don't really have many listings out. Okay. I've actually kind of postponed them towards afterwards, hopefully when this is all over.
Yep.
Simply because it's so much less hassle and liability risk. The health risk is just, I almost don't want to get involved in that.
Right.
On the buy side, it's very interesting. And this is something that I think maybe the loan agents out there can identify with too. Paperwork is extremely scrutinized right now. Before we get into contract, all the listing agents, they want to see that all the numbers line up and that all the loan letters have the correct names on them and that the down payments match the proof of funds and everything. And I think that's kind of a precautionary measure towards once we get in the contract and, get moving through escrow, there's less things to possibly be concerned about because we might have sussed them all out ahead of time.
Right.
However, though, even in escrow, some of these escrows that I have right now, we're seeing challenges that I don't think we would normally see, outside of COVID, things like that. So those are really my big challenges.
Okay. Yeah. So you're seeing a lot of what we're going through on the finance side, the scrutiny of, the specifics of a borrower, especially when related to employment, right? For obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that scrutiny is bleeding into what you guys do because agents are demanding to make sure it's going to fly, right? Yeah. In terms of my last question I want to ask is going forward over the next 6, 12, 18 months, it's a new normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the changes that you see coming out of all of this in the future, and what do you think the market's going to look like, especially in the East Bay?
Yeah, well, they're both long answers, I think. You might have to remind me about the second one once I start finishing the first one. I think there's actually a lot to look forward to, honestly. I'm really excited about the future in real estate. Once we remove the health component, I hope that a lot of these things that we're doing right now virtually and creatively in order to solve our problems is something that we will continue to do in the future. I'm really excited about that.
Right.
Primarily, I'm doing a lot of virtual listing appointments, which I love.
Okay.
A lot of times when I'm person to person at the dinner table at their house with the sellers, and they want to tell me and ask me all sorts of questions, and I usually end up being at the listing appointment for 2, maybe 3 hours.
Right.
Well, it seems to me once we do the virtual listing presentation, there's more focus on what really matters the most, and we can usually get it done in a shorter amount of time. I like that.
Awesome.
I also like that the travel time is cut out as well. The 30 minutes that it takes for me to go out and meet the seller.
Yeah.
That's 30 other minutes I can do at home or in the office that I save, being more effective and productive.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
That we spend so much time on the road.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we're able to really maximize that time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And in general, in terms of showings, I'm doing a lot less showings now. Most of it is just sharing the virtual video and sharing the disclosures.
Yep.
And then from there, we really get into whether or not we seriously want to take a look at that house.
Right.
And so I think we're scrutinizing more the selection of the houses. There really isn't much inventory anyway, so we have to be a lot more, kind of creative with what we have.
Right.
But once again, that's less time on the road that I have with them that I have to do.
Right. Exactly. Awesome.
A lot of this virtual marketing that we're doing, things like that, I think that's all great stuff that it's funny because it was right there in front of us this whole time.
I know.
But we just didn't know that there's this whole world of virtual touring and virtual videos and things like that that we can take advantage of.
Right.
So that's a whole new marketing component that I really am excited about. I'm also excited about pre-approval letters.
Yep.
A lot more listing agents, in order to even get close to a house, we have to show pre-approval. And, that's something that everyone in the industry has always advocated for. Yourself, realtors as well, it just cuts out a lot of the, the B and the S, that type of stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, there's less B and less S, right?
Yeah. You get right down to business. You know exactly who really wants to commit towards, getting it done.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And with the non-QM loans, kind of going, I wouldn't say they're not gone. They're just suspended indefinitely. That's forcing an agent to know that a borrower is truly qualified.
Yeah.
Right. There's no more stated income. There's no more bank statement deposit for the most part. There's some lenders that are still doing it, but for the most part, you got to fit in that box.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then it's not going to fly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We've got a lot of traditional clients actually taking the hard money route lately, and
really,
that's interesting to me. I always knew that option existed, but hardly ever have we ever had to resort to that. So
interesting. I haven't experienced that. That's fascinating. Well, cool. Well, Grant, thank you so much for taking the time, and I really appreciate it. Let's do this again, in the coming weeks and months. And next time I'll buy you lunch. We'll do a steak, whatever you want, and have it delivered to your house. But I really appreciate the time, and eventually we'll break bread.
Yeah, definitely. I look forward to that for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. I appreciate the time.
Very good. Thanks so much. Good luck out there, and be safe, everybody.
Thanks, Grant. Everybody, that's who I know. Call Grant. Here's his contact info, and be safe, everybody.
Take care.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye-bye.